Good evening, brothers, and the occasional sister. I hope this one finds you well. There must be 50 ways to leave your lover. You know the story? Just slip out the back, Jack. 50 ways to leave your lover. There's a lot of ways you can leave your lover. In this story here, it was a difficult one for me to leave my lover. Long story short, I was playing probably now 30 years ago almost. I'll show you the photo or the picture. It's behind me here. It's this guy up there. You know that's going to focus? Probably not. That's the oil painting I did of myself. That's me as a 30-year-old. Anyway, I was playing in the town of Saarbrucken and I met Sila. She was lovely. She had dyed red hair. She wasn't a natural redhead, but she was a lovely dyed redhead. And I was playing the Lou Reed song when she came to the pub. You might know this one if you're my age or a bit younger. One of his favourite songs, or my favourite songs from him at least. Harley came from Miami, FLA. Anybody got it yet? Hitchhiked away across the USA. Plucked your eyebrows on a way, shake the legs and he watches. She say, hey babe, take a walk on the wild side. And then she walks on and say, hey babe, take a walk on the wild side. And the colored girls sing like do, 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 do. And I can remember so clearly like it was just yesterday. There she walks into the pub, very smoky, everybody walking around. Upstairs and downstairs. I can see all the people upstairs. I was downstairs playing. And Sila comes in a long black dress, this red hair shining in the lights. Everyone drinking Guinness, Kilkenny. And I'm just playing my music. And I thought I'm going to see if I can get a date with her. Long story short is, at the end of the night, we ended up back at her apartment. Played that German game, Hide the Frankfurter, till the early hours of the morning. And next morning, had a cigarette and a coffee, and we sat together talking about stuff, and one thing led to another. We went out in the town. I had a gig that night in Permiston, so I had to leave, but I came back the following month and saw her again. Pretty much a almost perfect night the second time we spent together, and we got quite close. And I decided that I would stop sleeping around with just randoms, as I had been doing, and I would commit to having a relationship with someone that was, how should I describe it? Somebody who I was passionate about, but really should never have got with. Someone where the chemistry was right, but the mindset was not right. She, on the other hand, she also liked the idea of me moving into her apartment, which I wasn't going to do and didn't want to do because I was playing gigs in other towns. But she said, if you moved in, you could have a base here. And I said, look, I'm not really keen on doing that because I play just about in a town every night, but I'll come and see you when I'm in Saarbrucken and we'll spend time together. So we did that. But after about 6 months, the cracks really started to show and she became real clingy and she kept on asking me, where are you going tonight and who'd you see and what did you do? And I said to her, I didn't go with anybody. I saw plenty of people, I played to probably 400 people that night or 500 people or 1,000 people. But she became real clingy and weird. And I started to not feel good about this whole thing. And I had money in her bank account. I had about 20,000 in there because I didn't have a bank account set up in that town. And I used to get a lot of change. Trinkgeld, it's called in German. It's the tiny change. And I said to her one evening, look, it ain't working with you and I. You're always jealous about where I'm going and who I'm seeing and you don't trust me. And I'm just tired of that. I hate that feeling. And I am behaving myself, but you're making me feel like I'm not, and that mistrust is it's just too much, and the fun's gone out of the relationship, and it was going out, and as soon as I started to have these bad feelings, I didn't wait to see where it progressed. I knew it was never going to be good, so I thought I'll just, instead of thrashing a dead horse, I'll knock it on the head straight away. But getting away from her was really, really difficult. She wasn't going to let up on that money I had in her bank account, and I said, look, I'm not going to see you anymore. I picked up my things out of her apartment, which wasn't much. I used to have most of my life in the back of a blue rucksack and my guitar, and I didn't have much at all. And I said, here's the bank account for my bank. If you please put my money in it. By now I had a bank account in the town next to it. And she said to me, I'm not going to put that in. And I said, well, it's my money and If you're not putting it in, you're basically stealing. I'll leave that with you. So time went by, and I contacted her about 2 weeks later. She still hadn't put the money in my account. And she said, yeah, I can put it in, but we have to meet. I didn't want to meet her. I said to her, if you put the money in, I promise you I will meet you. But you put the money in first. I waited and waited, and she didn't put the money in, so I never turned up. And I called her back, and I said, I didn't turn up. We did have cell phones in those days that just come out. And I said, I haven't turned up because you didn't put the money in my account. She said, yes, I wanted to talk to you about that. And I said, well, what is there to talk about? You've got my bank account number, just put it in and we'll meet. She says, yeah, but you're only meeting so you can get the money. I said, well, yes, I am. That's the truth. But I've said I promised I would see you again. Otherwise, I'm not going to see you, and you're not going to give me my money back, and I'm going to lose it, and you're going to steal that money off someone you profess to have loved, and that's something you're going to have to live with if you choose to do that. She was like, oh, meine Güte. And I said, look, put the money in, and I'll meet you same place next week. I'm back in town, I'm playing. Following Friday, I had to go into the bank. We didn't have internet banking then. And I went in there into the bank, and sure enough, she put all the money back in. So I stuck to my end of the bargain, called her on my big brick of a cell phone, and said, hey, mate, got the money back. We can meet at the Italian cafe, if you like. That's where we used to go. So we go in there, and she's dressed just like $1 million. She looks absolutely gorgeous. And she's got the nice perfume on, the one that I really liked. And I didn't make myself look good at all because I had nothing. And I thought, I don't want to end up going back to her place. I don't. She tried every trick in the book that a woman does, laying underneath the table, trying to get me excited and all that there. And it's like, nah, can't go there, won't go there. And I made a real effort to not drink too much because I didn't want to like be drunk and end up back at her place. So anyway, we finished our meal and we're in the car and going back home, and I just got real sleepy. And I thought, did she put something in my drink or something? I feel real sleepy. And we're in her place, and I said, I actually by now had my own apartment in 7 Rosenstrasse. That's number 7 Rosenstrasse if you're speaking English. 7 Rosenstrasse. I had this apartment. I said, if you can just drop me off, I'm really tired. I've had a pretty big circuit I've been on. I'm pretty exhausted. She said, just come and crash at my place. I said, no, I want to go back to my place, Silke. She said, look, just one night, come back, won't do anything. Just want to look after you while you're so run down. You look like your clothes needs a wash, and you look pretty tired. And she was right. I was pretty tired. Could have done with a bit of tender loving care, but I didn't want to go back because I didn't want to. It'd be like flogging a dead horse, Long story short is I went back to her place. Shouldn't have gone back. I just had a weak moment. I thought, oh yeah, okay, nothing will happen. So I said, well, look, I'm going to sleep on the couch. We're not going to do the deal. I'm going to sleep on the couch. She said, absolutely. So she put me on the couch, gave me a pillow, put a blanket over me, and she was all nice and lovey-dovey, and I went to sleep, and I woke up, had a good sleep, woke in the morning, she made me a beautiful breakfast. She went out and bought stuff early from the bakery and cheese, and she had it on her little deck, and we had a cup of coffee, and she was just being so damn nice. And I said, why are you being so nice to me? And she said, because I care about you. I said, all right, yeah, okay, righto. And so we had that there, and spent the morning together, went through a walk in their botanical gardens, and it was just nice. And I thought, oh, geez, I've got to remember how she got so crazy. And she was just bombarding me with love and making me feel like, oh, God. And so I said, look, I'm going to go. And she said, yeah, that's fine, off you go. So I went, and I came to that town probably, I can't really remember, just a rough guess, maybe a month later. Might have been less, might have been more, don't really remember. Came back, and there she was in the Saarbrucken Irish pub, and I was playing, oh God, that reggae song. What was it? Ah, that's right, Bob Marley. And she saunters onto the pub as I'm singing it, dancing, steer it up. She's moving. Little darling, I say steer it up. Come on. And she's moving in front of me with this dress on. I say steer it up. She's got no bra on. Little darling, I say steer it up. And she's looking gorgeous, and she's doing that thing like girls do with their hair. And all night she's doing this in front of me, and I'm playing. It's like, oh God, I'm becoming a weak male again. I can't bloody help my feelings and stuff. But I'm going back to my place tonight, and that's exactly what I did. I went back to my apartment, and put my guitar away at the end of the night after doing all my jobs. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm in there and I'm just going to sleep. The light's off and I hear on the door. It's like, what's that? No, it must be imagine just going back to sleep. Then I hear, hello. It's like, oh God, is that Silka? That better not be Silka. And I pretend I was asleep. I don't actually snore. I just did that for the video. Pretend I was asleep. I didn't answer it. And then I hear again, hello, you there, Spider? Spider, hello. Spider was my show name in Germany. Got up. Didn't really want to get up. Go to the door. I've got one of those little chains on it and open just so it's locked. I said, yeah, what do you want, Silk? It's late. Hello, can I come in? No, you can't come in. I just lonely. I said, lonely, yeah, but we're not together anymore. And I could have had somebody here. How do you know I don't? I know you don't because I saw you go home alone. I said, yeah, but it's not the point. No, you can't come in. Why can't you walk in the streets alone? Something could happen. Oh, God. I said, look, I'll get you a taxi. I'll call a taxi and I'll pick you up now. No, please, let me come in. Oh, I was just tired. So she comes into my room. Comes in. I said, look, you know I've only got a tiny bed. There's no couch for you to sleep on. You get her to stay in my bed. I don't want anything to happen with us. She said, I promise. I said, okay. So we go to sleep and we go to sleep. Nothing happens. Great. Wake up in the morning. Same scenario again. She's gone out to the bakery. She's gone and got baguettes and cheese and shinker and that's it. Oh, sort of like a ham thing. And sliced tomato and pickles and all sorts of stuff. She's got it out on my little balcony makeup. I'm still lying in bed there looking like shit because I've been doing a whole lot of touring. She's out there. She goes, Spider, Frühstück. That's clay, breakfast in German. And I was like, yeah. I get up there and slap some water on my face, look at myself in the face, it's all crooked. I look like crap because I've just done a whole lot of gigs. Go out there, she's got this tablecloth down, she's made it all nice, and she's got some flowers, and she's picked somewhere, and she's just got all this girly stuff, and she's got that low-cut dress with the boobs hanging out, and oh, God damn, the weak ma, I was like, oh, shit. So we're having this nice breakfast and talking again, and I'm like, Silka, we're not getting back together, nothing's happened. She goes, no, just friends. I said, yep, just friends. That's all it's going to be. But you know, it never is just friends when you're like that. It never is just friends. We had our breakfast, and I had a free day. I was playing, I think, in Parmesan's the next day, or might have been Louis, can't remember, one of those other towns close by. And she wanted to hang out for the day, and I didn't want to hang out with her. In my mind, I was separated. She was sort of dragging me, and I knew that she was trouble, but she was being so nice, and she was making me feel like I was really loved and cared for, and there was none of those cracks showing anymore, and I was getting more drawn in, and we ended up going out to our Italian restaurant that we first had gone to, like, a long time ago, back in the Italian restaurant, and we're in there, and we had, oh, God, I'll never forget it, pepper steak with mushrooms and cream, and God, I love that, oh, so good, just divine. We had a pepper steak together, and I got her a drive to her apartment, dropped her off at the door, said goodnight, and got back into the taxi, then went to my place, the other side of town, and that night again, she got a bloody taxi, and she come on over, and I went, oh, fuck, don't tell me it's her. Hello, and I went, you can't do this. I opened up the door with a chain. I'm getting you a taxi. You're going home. And she says, no. And I said, I'm calling you a taxi. And I got my phone out. Holy shit. When I called the phone, that's when she started to really rant or rave a little bit. And I was scared she was going to wake other people up because I was in it's an apartment with rooms next door. I went, shh. She made a lot of noise. And she said, I'm not going to stop making noise until you let me come in. So I made the mistake of opening the door. And I was waiting for the taxi to arrive. And she starts taking off all her clothes. She goes, make love to me, and like her breasts are hanging out. She's got this 10 out of 10 body. And the taxi's about to come. I said, no, your taxi's coming, get your clothes. I'm trying to get it back on. And I got all her clothes on her as best I could, wrapped around her, and managed to get it outside my door with every inch of my male willpower, because the other little man or little head down there was thinking the big head was saying, no, make love to her. But I knew that would just be a real big backward step. So now she's outside my thing half naked. She's got a bra back on, her knickers back on. She's getting clothes back on. And the taxi's outside. I can see it outside the thing. So I go outside the door and I lead her down the stairs. She's still putting clothes back on. And she is just... It's like if you imagine catching a wild cat and you're trying to like... Imagine you've got a wild cat inside your house and you're trying to take it out by hand and you're trying to put it outside with your hands. It's like scratching and snarling. She turns into this absolute... She's gone from this beautiful person who's been so nice to me and been bombarding me with love, and suddenly it's just this crazy lunatic of a woman. I'm getting scratched, I'm getting my hair pulled, I'm getting kicked. She bit me twice. They weren't hard bites. Bites generally are, but they were just like snapping at me and trying to get chunks out of me. And I'm like getting her out to the taxi, and the taxi's like, he comes up and he sees this woman, he goes to me, no. I said, "You got to take her, man." And she's like, like demons are coming out of her. And I said, "You got to take her." He goes, "Nein, Polizei. And that means the police. And I said, "Well, it's either you or the police, but she ain't coming back up into my place." And she has just turned into this beast. "I'll never be your beast of burden." That's a great song. She became my beast of burden. Long story short is he hailed the police. They came and she was still going ballistic. People had woken up upstairs and the police came and took her away. They actually had a police dog in the back, in the paddy wagon. They had a police dog. Like, were they going to unleash that beast on the other beast? I tell you what, I wouldn't have fancied the police dog's chances if they had. So that was how I really broke up with her. That's how it really ended. So you just never can tell with some people, what they're going to do and how they really are and what's going to become of it. 50 ways to leave your lover. There could have been a better way than that, but it wasn't a good way. Anyway, thought I'd share that with your brothers and the occasional sister. Yes. That was a walk on the wild side. That whole life there. It's almost like the Matrix. I look back. Like it didn't even almost happen. It's like a dream. It's like when I tell a story, I'm looking at a video in black and white of me doing these things. But it happened. And plenty of people come back from my past and greet me in different ways with social media these days. But I don't think that Silka ever will. At least I hope she doesn't. Harley came from Miami, FLA. Hitchhiked away across the USA. Plucked your eyebrows on a wave, shaved the legs, and he watched as she say, "Hey babe, take a walk on the wild side. Hey babe, take a walk on the wild side." Alright. Candy came out from the island. In a back room, she's everybody's darling. But she never lost her head. Even when she was given head, she said, Say, "Hey babe, take a walk on the wild side." And a colored girl sing like do 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 do. Walk on. Sugar Plum Fairy came around and hit the street, looking for soul food and a place to sleep. Went to the Apollo, you should have seen him. Go boy, go. Say, "Hey babe, take a walk on the wild side. Hey honey, take a walk on the wild side." And the white girl sings like do 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 do. Now the saxophone would come in, playing a beautiful tune. Anyway, that was a Bro Chick story, a throwback for the Bro Chick Club. Hope this one finds you well, and if you do find yourself in a relationship with somebody that you've got to get away from. Good luck with that shit, man, because it never goes sweet. Go steady. If you know a brother who's doing it hard, check on him. Catch you in the next one. See you later.